بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. So now we're moving on to أسماء تعمل في الفعل. The اسم العامل which govern other fi'ls. These are all sama'i. So we have the third chapter in عامل. You have اسم, you have فعل عامل, حرف عامل, حرف غير عامل, اسم عامل, اسم غير عامل. Majority of the ism are غير عامل, but these are عامل. With عامل, we have those that govern the ism and those that govern the verb. Those that govern the ism, we had تعمل عمل الفعل, and those that have verbal meaning. Those that لا تعمل عمل الفعل, they don't behave like verbs, the مضاف and the اسم المبهم. So basically these are basically شبه الفعل. These are the شبه الفعل. The شبه الفعل. The شبه الفعل. And this is what? لا تعمل عمل الفعل, what is becoming? This is becoming what? This is the مضاف and the اسم المبهم. Okay, and تعمل في الفعل, those are a list. It's a list basically. It's not a rule you apply to others. It's a list of them. Learn them, and those are the ones that do عمل الفعل. So الثاني أسماء تعمل في الفعل. So أسماء تعمل في الفعل وهي أسماء شرط. These are اسم شرط تجزم فعلين, which give jazm to two فعل. The اسم شرط and they give jazm to two فعل. The one we done before in the حرف عامل was حرف شرط. إن and إذ ما. ويسمى الأول شرطا والثاني جواب الشرط أو جزاء. Same text came before. وهي أحد عشرة. The 11 اسم الشرط. Again, you just have to learn them. I think these already came in Sukra. Yes. So من وهي للعاقل. For example, من يعمل صالحا يدخل الجنة. Whosoever does good will enter into Jannah. So this is اسم الشرط. Yes, اسم الشرط. That makes this verb مجزوم and this verb مجزوم. Because of the التقاء ساكنين, it becomes كسرة. Yes. ما وهي لغير العاقل. So this means who or whosoever. And this means what or whatsoever. So for example, ما تفعلوا يعلمه الله. Whatever you do, Allah knows about it. Allah knows about it. مهما has two meanings. It can be for غير عاقل. مهما تفعل تسأل عنه. Whatever you do. So same as ma basically. Same as ma. So whatever you do, but it's more emphatic. Remember, more words mean more letters, and more longer pronunciation means more emphasis. So مهما تفعل. So ما تفعل, مهما تفعل, مهما is more emphatic. So whatever you do, Allah knows about it. أو للزمان, it can have the meaning of when. مهما تدخل المسجد الحرام. Whenever you enter the Masjid al-Haram, ترى الناس يطوفون بالبيت. You will see people circumambulating the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here, whenever. This means here, whenever. It's already coming so, yes? These examples, correct? Forgot. Yes? So you will say to me, well, you made us learn the book, but if you don't remember, we get lost, we lose marks at exams. You wrote the book, and you don't remember what you wrote. So how do you expect us to remember? That's a good question. That's a good point. I don't have the answer to that question. Yes, this whole thing came in Sukra, yes, all these examples. Mata وهي للزمان. Mata comes for zaman, mata. So again, mata, if it comes by itself, only a fi'l marfu after it, it's going to be istifham. If it comes with majzoom after it, it's going to be a fi'l shart. Mata tahsud, when you become jealous, tahlik, you will perish. إذا ما is for zaman, time. إذا ما تعمل بإلمك. So again, these are all majzoom. When you do amal upon your ilm, تكون خير الناس, you will be the best of people. And sadis is ayana, this is also for zaman. This is also for zaman. وهي للزماني. But however, what happens? This is more emphatic. What is this? This is more emphatic. It's only use it for really awesome, important, significant features. So أيان يأتي الموت. So أيان يأتي, the ya is dropped off, so it's majzoom. So when death will come, يغلق باب التوبة. The doors of tawbah will be closed. Aina, where a lot of these particles, see, they can be used both ways. They can be used as a shart and istifham. If it comes with one fi'l mudari after, it's going to be istifham. If it comes with two fi'l majzoom after it becomes istifham. Okay, Aina hiya lil makan. These are for makan. أين تصلي أصلي. Wherever you pray, I'm going to pray. I'm following you. أين تصلي أصلي. أينما is also for makan, but wherever. Because of the ma, it has a more it's aina is where, we translate it as where. And أينما, we can translate it as wherever. So wherever, أينما, wherever. Okay, أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت. Wherever you may be, death will come upon you. So that's why it's like saying wherever, any, wheresoever. So because of the أينما being more like encompassing of space, that's why you have أينما as opposed to أين. Okay. أن وهي للمكان. أن also means where, but it has a few different meanings. But here's أن تذنب, wherever you sin. يعلمه الله, Allah will know about it. حيثما can be for place or time, whenever or wherever. حيثما تفعل يكتب فعلك. Wherever you do anything, or whenever you do anything, both depending on the context. If you want to talk about time, makan, wherever you do something, or whenever you do something. يكتب فعلك, your action shall be written. And ayyu is which. Ayyu is what? Whichever or which. For example, ayyu alimin yatakabbar yubghidhu Allah. Whichever scholar acts proudly, yubghidhu Allah, Allah will dislike him. So again, ayyu alimin. And there's a note, this will come up in the mabani again later on. But from all of these, the all mabani except the last one, ayyu. Ayyun is mu'arab. All the rest are mabani. Ayna is always ayna, mata is always mata, etc. etc. Understood? So I went through quickly, but it already came in sughra, all of these examples here. Now there's one masala which hasn't come in a sughra, we'll discuss here inshallah. إذا ولما الظرفية اسمان مضافان يتضمان معنى الشرط. That the particles إذا, well not the particles, the nouns. The nouns إذا and لما, and لما, this is a nat of, this is a man'ud and a nat. لما ظرفية. إذا and لما ظرفية. إذا and لما ظرفية are two nouns which are mudaf. So why I mention this is because these have, they're not zarf in terms of the grammatical structure, but they have the meaning of shart built into them. So there are two nouns, ismani, the nouns which are mudaf, yatadhammanan. What do you say yatadhamman before? Has it come before? Yatadhammanani. We can say here encompass, comprise, yatabdhammanan, they comprise of a shart meaning. What does that mean? They're not shart, because what happens to the ismu shart? What are they? They are asma'un ta'malu fil fa'li. They govern the verbs, the tajzimu fa'lain. Now, these don't do govern fa'lain. They don't affect the i'rab. So they have the meaning of shart. So they have a shart meaning, but they're not a shart in i'rab. So the bit of both mudaf and shart, meaning both together. For example, إِذَا أَحَبَّ اللَّهُ قَوْمًا إِبْتَلَاهُمْ. So now what we have here, this إِذَا is going to be mudaf. We did i'rab before already. This becomes a mudaf to the sentence after it. Yes, mudaf ilay. Mudafun ilay. And this becomes a maf'ulun fihi of the main verb fa'il maf'ul bihi. However, it has the meaning of shart. So similarly, like when we say, for example, if we were to say, for example, if you were to change idha, and let's say, for example, we were to use one of the other harf, we write mata. Mata ahabba Allah qawman ibtalahum. It would have given, so basically we could have replaced this idha with mata shartiya, because they have similarities. Do you understand? So the particle idha by i'rab and by definition is not a particle of shart. It's not an ismu shart which tazimu fa'lain. However, what does it do? It has the meaning of shart built in. So therefore, many of the ahkam, many of the rulings are very similar to shart. It doesn't make it majzoom. But for example, the same way the jawabu shart can have what? A fa on it. The idha can also have, this can have a fa sometimes as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes? And then here's lamma is mudaf, ibtal Allahu ayyuba is mudaf ilay, and that's sabara. So again, it's mudaf ilay, it's not tazimu fa'lain. It doesn't make the word after it madzoom. The word after is not madzoom. However, it has elements and the smell and the component, you can sense the zarf meaning in it, but it's not zarf by makeup and structure. Does that make sense? Does everyone understand this? Yeah? Okay. Okay, good. Now, once we're here, it's the next fasal basically. But the next fasal only one line. So until now, if you go back right to the beginning, if you go all the way back to the beginning, right? What do you find here? We're right over here. We have اسم العامل اسم الغير عامل. So we've reached all the way till here. تعمل في الفعل. And all we have to say now is the rest of the ism. These isms are all عامل. The rest are غير عامل. None. That's all you have to say now. That's why you're going to bring that one. No point bringing a whole lesson for that one sentence. So if you come back over here, we're on that part now. We're saying here now what? What we're saying is, the last point is الفصل الثاني في الاسم غير العامل. We say here, the اسم العامل is what? كل اسم وهو كل اسم ما عدا means except, other than. Yes? So the ism which is not governing is every ism apart from the shibhul fa'il, the ism al-mubham, the ism al-mudaf, and the asma'u shart. So the ones that are amil, they're amil, and the others are going to be ghayr amil. So there's no already list for ism ghayr amil. In harf ghayr amil, the whole long list, we have like a good set of pages. But in harf ghayr, in ism ghayr amil, we say, well, if it's not the amil, it's going to be ghayr amil. Yes? Understood? Yeah? So let's stop here, inshallah. Any questions? We've got i'rab to do. So how do we i'rab of this? We say here, man is ismu shart. So you put the shart in brackets. Basically, this is mubtada. You say man is mubtada. Yes, is mabni ala sukun, marfu' mahallan. يعمل الفعل مضارع مجزوم بالسكون, because obviously the man makes it مجزوم, so it's مجزوم بالسكون. Then the صالحا and the huwa zamir, that's all quite easy. We can also remove all of this if you go to two, because we've got used to this already anyways. So basically what here now, the jumla to يعمل, this whole jumla here, what happens to this? We say خبر المبتدأ مرفوع محلا. So we say here, this is mubtada, and then you do the i'rab, marzoom, fa'il, zamir, mustatir, huwa, salih, maf'ul bihi, and this jumla becomes what? The khabar of man. Are you following me? Are you with me here? Yes? And then the jumla, so this jumla is a khabar of man, and this together, this bigger jumla here with man, that's ibtida'iyya. La mahalla laha min al-i'rab. We say it's a jumla ibtida'iyya. We already discussed jumla ibtida'iyya before. It comes at the beginning, it has no slot in the i'rab. And then يدخل is a فعل مضارع مجزوم بالسكون كسر التقاء ساكنين. Again, we don't need to add all of this other stuff. We know this. هو زمير مستتر مجنز مفعول به. Then we say here, the main thing is now, the jumla of يدخل الجنة, that is now جواب الشرط لا محل لها من الإعراب. It doesn't become مرفوع, or the jumla doesn't have a محل إعراب. So the main two things that we need to know really here is, when you have man, اللهم صل على محمد, when you have the particle man, that becomes the mubtada. So in the ism shart, when you have the ism shart, this will have a slot, this will have a grammatical slot, this will become something linked to that, and then this becomes the jumla shartiyya, la mahalla laha min al-i'rab, jawabu shart, la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. And then this will change depending on whether it's the mubtada, the khabar, or the maf'ul fi. Do you understand? So in essence, the main thing you have to remember is that the ism shart will have a mahalla min al-i'rab. The sentence after it will have some kind of link with that, and that becomes the jumla becomes the shart. La mahalla laha, jumla ibtida'iyya, la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. And the yadkhul al-jannah, what does that become? The jawabu shart, la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. And we'll do the rest inshallah tomorrow. Ma taf'alu ya'lamu Allah, etc. They're all very similar, just one or two differences in between each of them. Understood? Any questions from anybody? Okay, we'll continue from here tomorrow, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. So let's inshallah continue the i'rab of some of these sentences that we're doing regarding the shart. So we have here, ma taf'alu ya'lamuhu Allah. As I mentioned yesterday before, the key principle we need to remember is that wherever there's an ismul istifham, it must always have mahallu min al-i'rab. The harful istifham, and hamza, they don't have a mahallu min al-i'rab. So then ma taf'alu, and we mentioned in the Arabic book, First Steps to Understanding Arabic, that whatever the ismul istifham is asking about, that becomes the that becomes the like slot. So for example, we have here ما تفعلوا يعلمه الله. ما تفعلوا يعلمه الله. So what you do. So تفعلوا is مصدر مفعول به مقدم. Yes, so it's ism, it's a shart, but it's مفعول به مقدم in a slot. So we have here. So ما is اسم الشرط, put in brackets, مفعول به مقدم of تعلموا. منصوب محلا مبني للسكون. Then the جملة ما تفعلوا becomes what? ابتدائية. This becomes what? ابتدائية. ابتدائية لا محل لها من الإعراب. أنا يعلمه الله becomes جواب. جواب الشرط. جواب الشرط لا محل لها من الإعراب. You following? Then when we have مهما. So if مهما is asking about مهما can be what? مفعول به مقدم. It can also be a مفعول فيه, because مهما comes in both meanings. A thing or a place, isn't it? If you look over here, where is it? مهما. It can be for zaman or a thing. So if it was zaman, for example, what would it become? Instead of مفعول به مقدم, what would it be instead? What would it be in تركيب? If it was asking مفعول فيه. So it will change depending on what you're asking about. Okay? So in this example, next example, this would be what? مهما would be what? مفعول فيه مقدم. So whenever you enter the Masjid al-Haram, this is مفعول فيه مقدم, and then this whole thing becomes what? The جملة ابتدائية لا محل لها من الإعراب. ترى الناس يطوفون بالبيت. That sentence becomes the جواب الشرط لا محل لها من الإعراب. Understood? That makes sense? Yes? Everyone following? Okay. متى تحصل? متى is asking about what? What's the question in متى? What are we asking about? Time, place, thing, person, reason. We're asking about time. Or shart, it's a shart about not asking, it's not istifham, it's a shart. It's about time. So therefore متى becomes مفعول فيه, and then the متى تحصل becomes ابتدائية لا محل لها من الإعراب, and تحلق becomes the جواب. Okay. إذا ما تعمل بعلمك تكون خير الناس. What's إذا for? Is that also for time? So إذا ما is for time. So then we say this is what مفعول فيه, and then you do the tarkib of the rest as normal. Does everybody understand the idea and the concept? What's going on? Yes? So the only one that's slightly different is the man. Man is mubtada, and the jumla becomes khabar. So in all of the rest, so if you look at all of these asma' shart, what happens is that the asma' shart, they become a slot of the jumla after it, and then they become the ibtida'iyya la mahalla lah min al-i'rab. When you have man, now becomes mubtada, the jumla after it becomes a khabar. And then that becomes the jumla ibtida'iyya. So in all of these, so if you look at all of the i'rab of all of them, man is a bit different. And from thani until hadi ashar, all of them, they just become something. Like a maf'ul fi muqaddam, maf'ul bihi muqaddam, maf'ul lahu muqaddam. Do you understand? Does it make sense? Are you following me? Okay. أينما تكونوا. So أينما is asking, what's the question? What's أينما asking about? Wherever you may be. أينما تكونوا. So that's become مفعول فيه مقدم. Yes. أي عالم يتكبر يبغضه الله. Now again, so the first and the last, the word أي and the word mam, the word أي and the man, these two become what? مبتدا. This becomes مبتدا مضاف إليه. عالم becomes مضاف إليه. Then the jumla يتكبر, the whole jumla becomes, we don't need all of this really, do we? Yeah, this one here. If this becomes mubtada, what does يتكبر become? What does يتكبر become? يتكبر becomes what? خبر. And then that mubtada khabar, then that becomes what? That joins together to become جملة ابتدائية لا محل لها من الإعراب. And then the يبغضه الله becomes what? What does يبغضه الله become? جواب الشرط لا محل لها من الإعراب. So in man and ayyu, you have mubtada khabar become ibtida'iyya, and in the other ones is just what? So let's do an example of this. Let's compare one of them. So let's say, for example, if I said man ja'a, okay, so man yu'min billah yadkhul al-jannah. Yes. And if I say, Mata tu'min billah تجد حلاوة الإيمان في قلبك. تجد حلاوة الإيمان في قلبك. Okay. Yes. So now in here, in this example, what's the tarkib going to be? Like basically, this is going to mubtada. This becomes the khabar, yes? And then this slot becomes what? Ibtida'iyya. So you have mubtada, khabar, then it comes ibtida'iyya. And it becomes shart or ibtida'iyya, same thing, shart or jawabu shart. And in here, mata tu'min billahi. Now, tu'min becomes what? This whole thing becomes there's no two slots and it's no mubtada khabar. It's maf'ul fih muqaddam. This is what? Maf'ul fih muqaddam. This becomes what? The fa'il fa'il. Fa'il. And maf'ul bihi ghayr sarih. Do you understand? So in man, and there's a bit more technicality to this as well. I think it may have been discussed already in the Arabic book. You have already done it in Zamir and its interrogative pronoun section. But if you've done it, that's for biha. If not, this is a basic rule of thumb. That when you have man or mata, man or ayyu, they become mubtada. The jumla after it becomes the khabar. Mubtada khabar then becomes the shart or ibtida'iyya. And when you have the other shart, when you have the other asma'u shart, ma, mahma, idama, mata, ayna, aynama, all of these. In all of these, what happens? These become usually a maf'ul fi or maf'ul bihi or maf'ul lahu, muqaddam slot. You following? Yes? You following? And then that once in the jawabu shart, that be jawabu shart. Yeah? So the difference between man and ayyu is you have a mubtada khabar become the ibtida'iyya or the shart, and in the others it becomes maf'ul muqaddam become the shart, and then the other sentence after the jawabu shart. You following? Okay? Okay? Not always. It's a bit of a rule. You've done that already in the Arabic book. Depends if it's Zamir or not a Zamir. You've done that already in that book. Yeah, so you follow that rule there. I'll just keep it simple here for now. In the if there's a Zamir, then you have the rule if there's a Zamir or not a Zamir coming in. But for the Wusta, we'll keep this much information for now. But you follow the rule in there. The rule in there is more detailed. It's not always mubtada. But as a rule of thumb, it can become. Okay? When you have idha, what happens with idha? أحب الله قوما ابتلاهم فلما ابتلاه الله. What happens then? إذا ظرف الزمان, it becomes مفعول في of the ibtala. So this idha, this what? This idha becomes, well, it's mudaf because it's مفعول في of this verb. Then أحب الله قوما, the whole jumla becomes what? مضاف إليه مجرور محلا. This jumla becomes what? محلا مجرور. And then ibtala is a fa'il madhi, fa'il, maf'ul bihi, etc. And then lamma, same thing. Zarfu zaman, maf'ulun fihi li sabara. This is the fa'il. And this is the maf'ul fi of the sabara. And then the jumla of ibtala, ibtallah ayyuba is mudafun ilay. Mudafun ilay majrurun mahallan. Do you understand the i'rab of these particles? Not particles, these nouns. Yes, so idha. So that's why idha and lamma are not harf shart. They have the meaning of a shart, يتضمن معنى shart. They include the meaning of the shart, but they're not actually shart in terms of grammar, but in meaning they are. So ma'nan they're shart. That's why you have similarities in shart in translation. But in i'rab they become mudaf. Yes, and the other ones, and they don't. So they become mudaf in i'rab. And number two, they don't cause a jazm to the verbs after them. And the other ones from man all the way to ayyu, they are all amil. They make the two fi'l mudari after them madzum. And man and ayyu and all the rest are always muqaddam slots. Man and ayyu can be both muqaddam slots and mubtada. So, and the rule becomes more detailed inshallah in Kubra. And you've already done it in the first episode of studying Arabic as well. Alhamdulillah. Understood? Any questions from anybody? Okay, subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.